Perched on a chopped-off mountain crest in Bel Air sits a massive monument to human ego. It was meant to sell for $500 million. Instead, the property sold at a 72% discount. Before we break down the engineering that made this possible, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our upcoming deep dives. The physical dimensions strain credibility. 105,000 square feet of living space, 21 bedrooms, a private nightclub. It requires 50 separate air conditioning systems just to regulate the internal temperature. From a distance, the design creates a deliberate optical illusion. A continuous blue moat surrounds the perimeter, making the heavy concrete structure appear to effortlessly float above the Los Angeles basin. But gravity always collects its due. To build a structure this heavy on the edge of a cliff, the developer had to override structural engineering laws and stretch the limits of high-risk finance. This project is a precise case study in compounding failure. It demonstrates exactly how unchecked architectural ambition triggers a billion-dollar structural and financial collapse. The developer, Niall Niamey, spent 15 years producing Hollywood B-movies before pivoting to real estate. He treated construction like a movie set. He prioritized visual spectacle, like designing a lounge with live jellyfish for walls, over structural practicality. The immediate problem was geography. Placing 100,000 square feet of concrete on a steep, seismically active ridge in the Santa Monica Mountains requires massive soil stabilization. Before a single wall went up, crews spent 2 years reshaping the hillside. They excavated 49,000 cubic yards of dirt, hauling it away in 5,000 dump trucks down narrow, winding residential streets. To prevent a collapse, engineers drilled deep foundation piers straight into solid bedrock. Above ground, massive roof cantilevers lacked visible columns, forcing the weight to transfer horizontally through millions in hidden lateral steel beams. Then there is the sheer weight of the water. The design called for 5 separate pools, including one suspended on the roof directly over a 4,000 square foot master bedroom. Every gravity-defying cantilever and rooftop pool demanded exponential hidden structural support, and those hidden physical supports required a massive, continuous supply of highly expensive capital. Traditional banks measure risk strictly. They do not issue loans to fund unproven, speculative B-movie fantasies featuring internal casinos and bowling alleys. To fund the excavation and the concrete, Niamey relied on hard money lenders. These firms specialize in short-term bridge loans attached to punishing double-digit interest rates. The financial model demanded rapid construction and an immediate sale. But the intense structural engineering caused severe delays. Niamey intended to finish the house by 2018. Reality dragged completion into 2021. This graph shows the fatal math. As construction stalled, compounding interest devoured the project. The debt climbed relentlessly, eventually passing $160 million, completely outpacing the physical progress of the build. Even in its unfinished state, the structure burned cash. Just running the 50 HVAC systems generated an electricity bill of $50,000 a month. Facing default, Niamey attempted a desperate financial maneuver. He proposed a cryptocurrency called the OneCoin, designed to fractionalize ownership of the house and pull capital from small investors globally. The market rejected the digital token. The required capital never materialized, leaving the property fatally overleveraged. In July 2021, the primary creditor forced a default. The Los Angeles County Superior Court stripped the developer of his project and placed the massive compound into a court-ordered receivership. The heavy steel and concrete held the mountain together, but the balance sheet broke. The financial structure collapsed long before the physical structure ever could. When the receiver took over, they found a decaying monument. Without a massive budget for constant maintenance, water from the moat seeps into the subterranean levels. Mold creeps into the millions in custom drywall. Because of the active leaks, the rampant mold, and missing final safety inspections, the city refused to issue a certificate of occupancy. The largest urban home in America was legally unlivable. The court ordered a Chapter 11 bankruptcy auction. To entice international buyers, the original $500 million price tag was slashed down to $295 million. When the hammer fell, the winning bid was just $126 million, placed by the CEO of a fast fashion brand. The sale left tens of millions of dollars in debt completely unpaid. The irony is that the developer actually succeeded in his original ambition. He built exactly the record-breaking structure he envisioned. He lost the house entirely because the underlying business model was a catastrophe. The project's most lasting impact is legislative. The Los Angeles City Council rewrote its zoning ordinances specifically in response to this exact project, ensuring nothing of this scale can ever be built in these neighborhoods again. The sprawling white compound remains isolated on its Bel Air ridge. It proves that no amount of concrete, steel, or ambition can override the brutal, inescapable math of real estate.